Right. Good morning. Good afternoon. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, guys. Welcome back to the Message Draw podcast. Today in the Message Draw, we've got an interesting topic, actually, right, girls?
Yep.
I mean, ladies. So today we're talking about beauty standards. Yeah. So obviously we all know, we've grown up in England, we know the beauty standard in this country. It's that tall, slim girl, right?
Skinny.
Skinny, all of that. But we're gonna dig deeper today.
Just a little bit.
The motherland.
The motherland and all of that.
Yeah.
So you guys get affected by beauty standards?
I think there's not a single person on this earth that doesn't get affected by beauty standards.
Mm-hmm.
I personally don't.
No, how? Keep us your ways. I knew you were going to say that. Keep us your ways.
Right,
Okay.
go on, Najma.
The reason why I say I personally don't, and I attribute this to my upbringing.
Mm-hmm.
The way I was raised by a woman who every single morning drilled in my head there was nothing that you could do to your body that you didn't already have. Ever for me, there are things that affect me, and it will be, for example, if I go on a walk or on a hike and I'm out of breath like 5 minutes later, then I'll think to myself, this is not cute. I need to do something about this. So for me, it's
health-wise.
Yeah, how can I get stronger and fitter? But other than that, I have never been affected by thigh gap or collarbones or things like that, because my upbringing has been so much confidence built in from the moment I was born.
Yeah, I feel like they teach people to be humble.
And they tell you to focus on the things that are not good. So
yeah,
growing up, I was always told to not think about the things that maybe were not ideal, to focus on the things that I had that were great, my attributions. So as I said, I used to hate my long neck, and I would hate it so much, but my nan would be like, no, look at you. It's the most beautiful thing.
I think it's an African thing, because I see myself doing it to my little brothers and sisters. And also we do have an image for beauty, but it's not advertised as in here.
No.
Like here, you grow up knowing being skinny, being tall, being anything over a size 8 is not ideal.
It's a consumerism society, isn't it? That's the difference. In Africa, no one's trying to sell you all the rubbish that they're trying to sell you here. And you put it perfectly. At the beauty companies, before they sell you the product, they sell you the insecurities.
What about you? Like what in the Asian community?
In the Afghan Sikh community, I think the beauty standard is to be like slim. I think slim is definitely seen like up there as like something good. I don't think like being chubby is applauded.
Can you give us like a size?
I don't know. I feel like whereas I think maybe you said size 8 in the Western world, but like I think in my community maybe like a size 10. Anything like a size above a size 10 is sort of like, ooh. And also I think it's more to do with the younger generations. So it's more like, I think it's like once women have gone past like 35, 40, 45, suddenly nobody cares about how big they are anymore. The bigger women are usually like the older women, and for them, they don't even see it as a problem maybe.
Have you been affected by it?
But in recent years, I felt like now the Western sort of way of thinking is like trickling in, and now I can see them talking about, like we should go on a diet, or maybe we shouldn't eat bread and like stuff like that. I can see that now.
With the older generation.
With the older generation, now I feel like they're more conscious of like what they put in there.
So growing up, did
I feel like? Yeah. I feel like I've always been obsessed with like weight. Always. I was like 7 years old, and I used to think, God, my legs are so much bigger than this guy's legs next to me. I remember I was in like a school assembly.
That's so heartbreaking to hear at 7.
I was in school assembly as a 7-year-old child, and I was comparing my legs to the guy that was sat next to me. And I was like, oh my God, my legs are so much bigger. I've always been conscious of it.
Rifa?
This does sound really ignorant, but I don't know a lot of Bengali people. My family aren't really in with the Bengali community as much. So my exposure to it is very minimal.
Mm-hmm.
But what I do know is, like, I think they prefer girls a little bit more chubby. Because wherever I went as a kid, they'd be like, oh, like, I'm not going to speak Bengali because everyone's going to laugh at me. But they'd like, they'd be like, oh, she's a bit slim. Like, are you not feeding her properly? Like, feed her more food. Give her something to eat. But then that always conflicted with with the Western world, because when I was like in primary school and that, I was one of the chubbiest girls in my class. So like Gunjan, I'd be in year 6 sitting on the bench and I'd be like, damn, this boy and this girl next to me are both skinnier than me. So I'm getting one beauty standard from one part of my family and then another beauty standard from another part of my life. So it was a very confusing
about it.
myself.
So do you not know what their beauty standard is in your...
Obviously, it's similar to like other Asian countries, like fair skin,
Mm-hmm.
you know, you can't be tall, you got to be like...
You can't be tall.
Can't be tall.
No, because Bengali boys are shorter. You don't want to be too tall and then be taller than your husband.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Our beauty standards are based around what men find appeasing.
Yeah. I relate to what you said about the body weight or what, like, are you not feeding this child? I grew up very skinny my whole life until second year of uni when I ate my weight in pasta. I used to be very slim. And I remember when like relatives visit or whatever, they would say, they look at me and they will ask my family, do you tie her on a tree when you guys eat? But being skinny is always like, oh goodness, what's wrong with that kind of thing?
Do you know what? My sister's very slim. She's quite slim and she always has been since she's been a child. And people constantly tell her, I'm so jealous of you. Like in my community, whenever people see her and they're like, I'm so jealous of you. How do you stay so skinny? How do you stay so skinny? And it bothers her so much that people constantly, like she just had a child a couple of months ago and people are still asking her, I'm so jealous. How did you lose all the baby weight?
That's exactly how I feel when I'm at work and everyone is like, oh my God, you're so lucky, you're so skinny. But when you go home, it's a different story, like Arifa was saying, especially being from an African background. So it's there, you're always like, okay, when I go to work, I'm beautiful. When I come home, I need to eat. It's like, I don't know how to feel. Which
do you lean towards?
I can't lie, I'm a bit like Najma.
You love yourself.
I do. Do you know what, Grubs, you know, we talk about our weight every now and then when we feel a bit shit. But on majority of the time, because being skinny, you look nice in so many clothes, and I shop a lot, so that's why I'm not mad at it.
It's a split second when I like put on something and I'm like, oh, this would look so much better if I like lost, I don't know, maybe a few kilos.
So it doesn't. Some days it does bother me, but when I go shopping, I'm like, thank God, thank God. What were you saying, Arifa? Sorry.
I don't know if this is appropriate to apply. I was going to say, Sharon, you've been trying to put on weight though.
But yeah.
I don't want to expose you or anything like that.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I do. It's like, I think when people hear me say I want to put on weight, they take it as like I'm insecure. Does that come across like I'm insecure? Or does it just mean?
It doesn't mean being insecure.
No, I'm just asking.
No.
Yeah.
Because it comes across as something you're quite self-conscious about.
I just think, do you know when you look at yourself and you think, oh, if my forehead was a bit smaller, I'd look better. I just think, if I put on a bit of weight, I'm not trying to go from what I am, which is size 6/8 to like size 16. I'm just trying to be a solid size 8.
But like everything else, right? Insecurity is magnified in the society. Everything is magnified. Any tiny problem, or not even a problem, you say, oh my goodness, I don't know, my nails are not good. Someone will tell you, you should love your nails. I'm like, relax.
I'm just saying.
I just want to get my nails done.
Yeah.
But I think everything's magnified. Like, oh my goodness, you say something, a tiny negative thing about your body, oh, you're insecure, you're self-conscious. No, I'm fine. I don't know, just saying things.
My least favorite thing to be told, right? So I've got really big boobs, right? I do. My least favorite thing when I complain about someone is when someone says, "But boys like that." I'm sorry, but boys will fuck anything with a pulse. Like, what they like doesn't matter. It's the one comment that will just infuriate me. I can't get over it. Like, how is that meant to comfort me? How is that meant
Do you know what it is? No, but that's the thing, Arifa. I think people, obviously, they mean it in a good way, and I'm sure you know this. It's just
No,
that
yeah,
when you hear people talk down on themselves, you just want to say something to make them feel good.
Anything.
Anything, so you're like, boys will like it.
I think a little bit, like, it's fine.
Or if you tell someone that you want to lose weight and they're like, oh, but boys like a bit of meat on the bones. So
That's
and it's just like, fuck off.
It's just a thing to make someone feel better, but that's not what that person is looking for.
The intention is to reassure them, but what it actually does is it tells us that to be reassured, we need to feel like, oh yeah, the opposite sex will think it's attractive. We might not think
good enough for a man. So no
but
matter
let's keep it 1,000.
what,
Do we not? Do we not have that in mind?
no.
Okay, all right. I get it, right. When we do things so that people find us attractive.
Not all the time, Arifa.
Like when we go out, we put on makeup, we spend hours doing all of this so that we are pleasing to look at. So to that extent, yes. But at the same time, there are some people who don't really give a damn about what boys think of them.
Yeah.
If you're a straight woman,
Everything that I'm saying about myself, I'm not doing I'm not doing it at all to make a boy feel happy or be considered desirable by men. I'm doing it because I know that's what I think I would feel more comfortable at.
So if
you say that you don't ever do anything,
No, I'm not saying that, but we're talking about body image and our body. Yeah, I might wear. I might, if I want to impress someone, I might do my makeup really nice that day. But specifically in terms of my body, if I want to lose weight, if I want a smaller boob, if I want anything, I'm doing it for myself.
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree. Of course, everything, most of the things, yes, I want to do it myself. How I dress, I'm not thinking about a boy.
Yeah.
How I dress, how I do my hair, but there has been situations where I have done it. I can't even lie. I can't even lie.
Attracted to men, so at some point you're gonna want to be attracted, like want to attract them, but you don't do anything to your body to be attracted, so men are more attracted to you.
No.
Yeah, your hair is something might want to attract someone, but your body is something that you take pride in for yourself.
Modifying any part of your body, I get that. I agree with you. Like getting lip fillers because some guys said they like girls with big lips.
That's too far.
There are women that are like grown women who are still hung up because some boyfriend 100 years ago said he likes slim girls.
And that's sad. That's so sad.
So I think we have to, like, there are situations like that, and it is a reality for many, many women, because one boy says he likes this, they end up the rest of their lives chasing that perfect body.
Yeah.
For example, when I watch TV, there are ads that come on where you don't have to shave your body hair, or you don't have to have this perfectly smooth skin tone. Like you can have vitiligo, you can have there's a Venus body what's it called, shaving thing that says keep it, bleach it, trim it, however what you like it. So
yeah, in the adverts, when they're waxing or shaving their legs, the women are hairless.
No, this one is completely different.
The idea is that you have choice. That's what they're supposed that there is choice. You can keep it, you can trim it, but you could also use this razor if you wanted to shave it. The idea is you do what you want.
Yeah.
You know what? I check myself sometimes when I see hairy women. I have to check myself and be like, women can be hairy, Sharon.
Yeah,
Because
you.
of that built-in
It's a
idea of
newer
what
thing.
it should be.
It's a
I
newer.
feel so like I feel happy when I see a woman with hairy legs. Like I love that. I'm like, yes, you do you. I personally can't go out wearing with really hairy legs. I don't feel comfortable. But when I see another woman do it, I'm like, yes.
But why don't you feel comfortable? Why do you think that is?
Maybe because from when I was young, I've been told that women should be hairless, and I get that that's part of my head. But I also feel, I don't know, I just don't like having hairy legs.
Do
When
you
you
know
wear
what's
tights,
crazy?
it's uncomfortable. When you wear leggings, it's uncomfortable.
Somali women in Somali, one of the beauty standards is to have hair on your body.
Pardon?
Really?
Yeah,
Can I just say, I know, so like I find lots of Somalians are very hairless though.
Yeah.
They tend
Maybe
to
that's
grow
why
a-
it's a beauty standard.
not
Yeah.
generally. We don't grow a lot of hair on our bodies, but in Somalia, if a girl has like a lovely hairs on her, like noticeable hairs on her arms, legs, maybe a bit of a sideburn, she is considered incredibly beautiful.
I've never heard that beauty standard before. That's
In
interesting.
Somali, it really is, and someone might correct me, but as far as I know,
16-year-old me, I was heartbroken I didn't look like the girls on Instagram.
my heart breaks for younger girls who are being sold of this madness. Because the thing is about when we were teenagers, to get a photo edited, magazines were full of rubbish. But we ought to know that there were photographers, a team of people editing, a lot involved. But now everyone can do it at home, editing photos to its absolute madness. And they are everywhere for these young girls to access, everywhere.
I know.
Yeah.
It's like when you're about to upload a picture and then you look at it and you're like,
Is it good enough?
I know.
Go up.
Cannot
Yes.
relate.
Do you know what? I started appreciating myself once I realized the beauty in different women. I'll be out and I see a slim girl, I'm like, she is beautiful. And then I see someone who's a bit thick and I'm like, she is beautiful. And then I
And
realized, you know what it is? It's just having confidence in yourself. It's how a woman carries herself that makes her attractive.
absolutely.
Everyone looks beautiful no matter how you
Confidence like just radiates out people's pores. Like I might never say a word to this girl across the street, but I can tell she's confident. Whether it's she's walking or she's carrying herself, being confident is the ultimate like superpower.
it is.
It really is. I think it's the best gift we can give to somebody, that to believe in yourself, to have that self-reassurance and self-worth. I think it is.
Right, so we've got 10 minutes left. Do we want to touch quickly on colorism?
Yeah.
10 minutes enough?
Is 10 minutes is enough is the question.
About the
10 hours enough?
I think that's something we can agree on. Every corner of the world you go to, colorism, there's one beauty standards.
Thank
Light
you.
skin.
Yeah.
The fairer the better. Except probably in the Western world where they get tanned and stuff and they think like having a summer glow is like.
Only if you're white, yeah.
Exactly.
It's not even a summer glow that's attractive. What's attractive is looking racially ambiguous. Because girls back in the day tanned and they look like themselves still, they just looked a bit glowy. Now the goal is to look racially ambiguous. It just is.
It's just a tan to make them not look as pale as they are, because no one wants to look.
So growing up, did we have confidence issues when it comes to our
Skin tone?
skin tone?
For me, that's one area that I, for a very short period, struggled with. Because my cousins are very light skinned. Like in Somalia, they're normal because people's skin tones come in a million different shades. But in here, most people say, "Are you Asian?" Because they were so light skinned, and I was just there as this little skinny kid who was dark skinned, and they would make it very apparent to me that I wasn't as pretty as them. And my nan, bless her, she'd tell me like, "Look, they might be lighter skin, whatever, but every other attribution, you're prettier." So
I didn't have a confidence issue with my skin tone, no.
I did, but my childhood was in Hampshire. So me and my brothers were the only ethnic people in my school. So I'd have like white kids that should come up to me and say, my mum says I can't play with you because you're black. I'd have people scare me. They're racist, they're clearly stupid. I'd have people try and scare me with like gollywog and say they're going to come after me and stuff like that. So that at that point I felt inferior. I did. I literally felt inferior because I didn't look like white like everyone else. And then I moved to London in year 7, and
did you move in year 7?
Yeah.
I didn't know this.
I started secondary school in London.
Oh, I didn't know this.
And there were loads of Asian people there, but that's when I properly got introduced to like the issues of colorism, and you know, this person isn't as pretty because they're not as light as this person and stuff like that. So I thought I escaped it when I came to this multicultural area, but I didn't. Yeah.
So you did racism and you introduced the colorism.
Yeah. So I definitely struggled with colour.
I grew up quite racist as a
Oh
child.
Lord.
Such a, you know what? Make sure you put that in like the intro.
You grew up okay. Gross, do explain.
Let me explain. It's not something to laugh about. We're just in shock. We're in shock. We're in shock. Okay. So, I grew up as a child thinking that fairer people were nicer, and I don't know why. I don't know. It's not that my parents had ever said this to me, but I just grew up thinking, not liking people who were darker, and also thinking that I was also like, I wanted to be fairer as well. I'm saying as a child, like 4, 5, 6, 7. And it wasn't until I made, it sounds really cliche, but it wasn't until I made my best friend, her name was Shannon, in primary school, and I was in year 5 and she was black. It wasn't until she became my best friend that I felt like it was, I didn't even like being friends with Asians. Like I just liked being friends with white people. And it wasn't until I made friends with this girl called Shannon that I finally opened myself up to like people who weren't white. And it sounds so crazy, but that's just the way.
But okay, we've got 4 minutes left, and I want to dive deeper into this.
I want to know more.
But quickly, where did that stem from? Because you said your family did not speak about darker people like that.
I went to school.
Do you think
like Arifa, I didn't have nobody that I went to school with was like any other like culture, or like they were all white back in like when I was like 4, 5, 6, and then when I moved to London when I was like 7, 8, I think I moved to London. That was when I met people. Like there was this one black girl in my class, and that was like the first time I'd been in the same.
I never grew up thinking racist things like that. And I'm not faulting you. I'm saying we had this. So do you think it's because it may not have been in parents? Do you think it was like just things that kind of went under the radar within your own community that made you think like that? Because I never thought like that.
I think it was fear of the unknown. I'd just never been around them before, and for me, for some reason, my first response to something that was unknown was, no, that's wrong.
Okay.
Or no, that's not.
I get the fear of the unknown, but you said you also would not befriend Asian people. You only liked white people.
I wasn't even around Asians. I didn't just around white people all the time. Like we used to live in this block of flats, and I don't remember a single brown person in our block of flats, and there were like so many flats.
I mean, I grew up in a very white area. Sharon knows. Very white area.
Even when you were as a kid.
Yeah, but still, I don't know. But again, I come from my family made it their lifelong mission to make sure that we felt good enough within ourselves.
Right, 1 second, guys. Pause. Right, sorry guys. We will continue this discussion in our part 2.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
More to come.
Yeah.
More to come. Bye, guys.
Stay messy.
Stay messy.
Bye.